Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So before we begin, as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. If you have a topic, a question, if you want to connect with me, so that way you can explain to me the details of anything that you want me to go over, or anything that you wanna go back and forth with, so that way I can help you in some way. You can actually connect with me on Facebook by searching for me, Carlos Flores Jr. On Instagram, you can type at Back on Basics. On X, you can also type at Back on Basics. So today what we're going to talk about is doubt. Doubt. What is doubt? It's just things that creep into your mind because you think that you can't make it. It's the questions. Remember what we talked about, right? Having a focused mind and a focused body, because at any point you can have an opportunity to move forward, to finish a goal, to get started on a new goal, to continue doing your goal. I mean, it again, right? It's the things that you want to do. It's the things that you've been trying to do. So, doubt, it's kind of like what ifs. You know, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I get the same results that I did in the past? You know, it's one of the wonderful things. Your mind. I'm talking about your mind, not doubt. Your mind is a wonderful thing because you can process things very fast sometimes, and you can move things off to the side sometimes. Remember, monotony, that means the same things happening and happening and happening. You have to break that monotony. Remember what I told you in the previous videos. Micro breaks, right? 3 to 5 minutes. I actually took a micro break today. I wasn't feeling too good. I was a little bit under the weather, but you know, the kids that I support don't stop. They need support. They have questions. They need things so that way they can enjoy summer school. So that way they can learn the love of reading, and they can also practice their math. I mean, it didn't stop. If you would have seen me, I was printing out different math problems. I was printing out the ones that you actually practice, the multiplication and the addition and the subtraction, and then based on where it is, you color it in, and then you end up with a mandala, or you end up with a drawing. I mean, there's so many things that took place today that I was pooped. I haven't done shorts. I mean, I usually go to a park, right after work. I walk there, and then I do shorts, and then I do a micro short in Instagram as well. Why it didn't happen today? Because I was tired. I mean, I came straight home and I vegged and I fell asleep. I took a little nap. I'm not gonna lie to you. I took a little nap, which was great. Micro break. Well, actually, that wasn't a micro break. I think my nap was about 45 minutes to an hour. But micro breaks help out. Remember, I talked about that. I talked about being in sync with your mind and your body, right? Knowing what's going on, right? In the morning, when I got up, I was a little sluggish. I knew my physical body was slow. I got it. I knew it. My mind was sharp. It was sharp. And so I got things done. Remember, right? I have a routine in the morning. I feed the cats. I make sure that I bring the temperature down in the home before leaving, so that the cats, whenever they're here by themselves, they're not in the heat. I mean, I put umbrellas up so that way it can cover. Like right now, I have umbrellas out here. You can see this sun, this thing here. Well, if I didn't have 3 umbrellas out there, then it would be hotter. This room would be hot. This room would have more bright light coming in. And we have a tree that blocks a fair amount, and it's a young tree. I mean, I think it's what, 3-4 years old, and so it covers some, but I have to help it out. So that way this room is pretty cool when I do my videos, when I do my work, when I work on University of Phoenix. I mean, when I do classes. And so it's amazing that while my body was slow, my mind was sharp. So I kind of took a micro break in the morning. I watched a little TV before I started doing things. I rested. I actually fell asleep for a little bit. I set my alarm. 15 minutes later, I was up and I was doing things and I did things. And then I got ready and then I went, excuse me. Ooh, change in temperature, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I haven't had the whole house heater. I've had a heater not heater. I've had an AC in the living room. Here, excuse me. Here is it's a little bit hotter, but now I can start to feel the coolness of the whole house AC. So, but again, going back to doubt. Doubt can creep up anytime. You know, it's one of those things where you have to understand that doubt will take over you. Doubt will make sure that you stop or at least slow down in your progress of what you're focusing on or what you're doing or what you're thinking of doing. I mean, to the point that sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, right when COVID was going on, and my primary job was not there anymore, and so I had doubt because I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know in which direction I was going to go. I applied to a lot of jobs, and I mean, during COVID, everything was closed, ladies and gentlemen. So a lot of the jobs were remote. A lot of jobs are still remote. Some of you are coming back to your workspaces, but a lot of the jobs were remote, and a lot of the jobs were slimming down. And so it took a long time to do it. I mean, I applied to so many different jobs, so many different things, and I didn't end up getting anything. So I went and I course correct because doubt was starting to creep up. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to have a job. I'm a provider. I want to provide for my family. I want to provide for, my kids were going to school. I mean, my son to Cal Poly Pomona, my other child to UC Santa Cruz, and I mean it was stressful. I'm telling you, it was stressful. It was a lot of doubt, and so I had to hyper focus. I had to write things down, the things that I wanted to get done, right? And I needed to look at one of the things that I did is I looked at a website called Onet. ONET .org. And so Onet is a career site. I did a video on it, and I even showed screenshots of the website. Check it out, because it actually helps you look at what's going on in the job industry, what's going on in which industry is doing better, depending on your education, where you want to go. That site, ONET, online, you can Google that. And so Onet Online actually can help your student if he or she, if they are middle school, I mean, even down to elementary school, but I would recommend it more for middle school and high school, because they can start looking at different jobs. They can tell what type of education you need, what type of experience you need, what the job is going to do, what the job description is, what the daily duties is, what the weekly duties are. I mean, it's amazing. It's a great site. ONET. I'll put it up here. Own it. And so it's something that brought back that momentum for me. It set aside the doubt, because at some point I said, I have to accept where I'm at right now. And that's the reason why I started doing these YouTube videos, ladies and gentlemen, because at some point I said, I have to take a stand, and I have to do it in the here and now. I can't do it in the past. I can't do it in the way future, because I have to do it in the here and now. So I told myself, from this point on, this is what I'm going to do. And I did. And that's why I finished my first year of special education teacher credentialing program. I'm going to go into my second one, and then I have induction, right? Once I meet the requirements, then I can do induction, which means the first one is a preliminary clearance of a credential. The second one is a full clearance. And it's work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm 49 years old, right? I thought I was going to ride out the career that I had until I was able to retire, but I wasn't able to. And before my doubt that I had in my mind got bigger and overwhelming than the positive thinking that I try to have, I made a decision. I course corrected. Instead of applied, and remember, I've said this in other videos, right? One of my dreams is to become either a provost or a vice president at a community college. So if anybody knows of any opening, well, actually, I'm doing the special ed now. But that's one of my dreams. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I mean, I would love to do that as well. But before doubt crept in even further, I actually course corrected. I used my support system, and they said, look, you're going to start from scratch. You're not going to be making much. And I wasn't making much. I'm still not making much. I mean, I was making 3-4 times as much in the other job than I'm doing right now. But I balance things again, right? I balance things because the calendar year for a teacher, to me, awesome. Before, I used to work 60 hours per week. Now I don't. Sometimes I do have to work a little bit longer, right? But you got to understand, right? As a teacher, as a special education teacher, as a general education teacher, as any teacher, depending on the district that you're working on, you get holidays. You get, Thanksgiving break. You get winter break. You get spring break. You get a lot of other things. You get summers off unless you want to work summer school, which I'm doing. I love it. I love summer school. I mean, I'm still under the weather, but I love being there and helping the kids out, supporting the kids on my caseload. And I have grown tremendously in these 5 weeks. We're going into week 6, and it's amazing, right? I've never had a group of students that are on the autism spectrum, and they're all different. They're very unique. They're very smart. They're very sharp. But at the same time, sometimes there's little to no communication. Sometimes there is communication, but the communication depends on how you communicate with them. And sometimes, it's just standing right next to them, standing at your hand, and letting them grab onto your hand, so that way they can have that physical touch, right? So that way they can feel good. So that way they can regulate. They can say, this person next to me is going to protect me. and it's going to teach me, or it's going to make sure that I'm balanced, mind body balance. And so it's amazing. But doubt sometimes creeps in, even in the best of jobs, even in your favorite jobs, doubt comes in. So micro breaks, get to know yourself. That's another big thing. It's know that there's people around you that are going through the same situation. Amazing. Remember, my dad passed in March, and I've been part of a grief support group ever since I think I started in May. And it's been wonderful. These people, I mean, before I felt like I was in an island and I didn't know how to grieve. I didn't know how to communicate my grieving. I didn't know how to say, I miss my dad. I miss talking to my dad. I miss hearing his calm yet stern voice that told me, it's going to be okay, son. And I miss it. But at the same time, I hear all these people that are part of grief group that some of them can't get up out of bed. Some of them can't, some of them just can't move forward. Some of them can't go to work. And it's doubt. That's doubt. I had doubts. And from time to time, I have doubts. Believe me, I do. And so what I do there in the grief group, I'm actually a member. Nobody knows that I used to be a therapist, or that I like psychology, or that I like life balance, or that I'm a life coach, or that I do these YouTube videos so that way people can help themselves and each other in their support groups. I mean, it's hard. Because sometimes I know what the group leader is talking about, but I want to make sure that they get it from the person that's running the group. So I just take a back seat. I share as much as I can so that way they can see my experience. And so, and like I said, I mean, doubt is something that comes in and out of your life. The thing about doubt is almost like the past, right? You have to accept that you're feeling down. You have to accept that you're having questions. You have to accept that you're questioning life, or aspects of life, or aspects that you have lost. And doubt can stay as long as you let it. Remember, you're the only person that can let doubt stay. So again, remember, if you fail, you have the next day to win. If you fail that day, you have the next day. Remember, this is not a race. This is a marathon. Let's kick doubt where it hurts and get rid of it, or at least know how to control it. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to know so much about psychology and about therapy and about life balance and about life coaching, and yet I get doubts. But it's normal. So what I do is I accept it, and I say, I get it. That's something that I need to work on because it's something that I haven't touched on yet. So, micro breaks. Know yourself. Mind-body balance, right? Physical exercise. Smile. Those are the things that I've been telling you for the longest time. Smile. Right? Greet people. Interact with people. Don't just be in your head. Interact with people. Talk to them. Ask them questions. Just have a silly conversation just for the heck of it. I mean, honestly, you can have conversation topics on cue cards. Just pick one at random. And the next person you see, start a conversation about that. What are you going to lose, right? You may make a friend. You may connect with somebody that you used to connect with. There's so many different ways to reduce, accept, and set aside and move forward from doubt. You know yourself. You know what works best for you. If not, then learn. Just sit in the doubt and say, okay, how can I get myself moving forward? You'll get it. I'm telling you, you will. I know you can do it. And if you fail, then you do it again. And if you fail, then you do it again. And if you fail, then you do it again and again and again and again and again. Believe me, eventually you'll be able to how to deal with doubt, so that way they're not big events, but they're smaller, and it'll be faster for you to set them aside after accepting them, because you're doing it in the here and now. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 99.85. Hit the notification button so that you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. Any topics, any questions, anything, put it in the comment section. Remember, own it online. Share it with your kids. Go back and look at my video that I did where I shared screenshots of Own It. Look at it. Share it with your kids so that way they can start thinking about what they want to do. And that's an important thing that I may do another video on at some point. But again, share it. Remember, sharing is caring. Till next time, Back on Basics.